We acknowledge we are gathered on Treaty 1 territory and that District 64 Toastmasters is located on the treaty territories and ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Anishinaabeg, Dakota Oate, Desunalin, and Nahuatl nations.
Welcome to District 64 TV, a production of District 64 Toastmasters with help from Rogers Communications. My name is Mandon, and I will be your host for this episode. We hope this program series will be your go-to place to learn about the Toastmasters members' experiences in District 64. There are so many dynamic events, anecdotes, and member experiences to show you how you could benefit in your professional skills development. Recently, our District 64 TV team went on the road to visit Toastmaster clubs in their home environment. We will share some of those experiences in this episode as well as future episodes. The oldest Toastmaster club in Manitoba is the Winnipeg Toastmasters Club. It was established 81 years ago. In October 1943, they had an impressive charter ceremony at the Royal Alexandra Hotel, attended by Harry Matheson, the president of Toastmasters International, a representative from the City of Winnipeg Mayor's Office, and His Honor R.F. McWilliams, Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba. While the Royal Alexandra Hotel no longer stands, having been demolished in 1971, the Winnipeg Toastmaster Club is as strong and vibrant as ever. In fact, they had a major 75th anniversary celebrations in 2019, attended by no less than Her Honor Janice Philman, Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba. Recently, our producer and current district finance manager, distinguished Toastmasters Lloyd Gilliam, asked some of the club members what Toastmasters has meant to them.
Hi, my name's John Hindle, and I've been a Toastmaster for 19 years at the Winnipeg Toastmasters Club. I joined initially just to have an outing. It was a social event for me. But what I learned is no matter how much speaking I did, I was always better when I was attending Toastmasters meetings. So I've had a lot of fun. I've met a lot of wonderful people, and I have grown as a communicator in multiple ways. And what we say at our club is, it doesn't matter where you are when you start Toastmasters. What we can guarantee is that you'll get better from that point. And I love helping younger people evolve as speakers. And when they put in the work, to see them evolve is just so much fun. Toastmasters has been a wonderful thing in my life, and I'm just so thankful that I came and participated.
My name is Mike Bagenberry, and I have been a member of the Winnipeg Toastmasters Club for 5 years. I joined Toastmasters to gain social circle and to develop my speaking, listening, and thinking skills. I feel that I've succeeded with flying colors since I've made dozens of new friends in that time, and I feel like a much more confident speaker. I am a member of my club executive for 2 years running.
My name is Ari Lazarus, and I have been a member of the Winnipeg 250 Toastmasters Club for about 3 years now. One of the most amazing things about Toastmasters is actually how humbling it is, insofar as it makes you realize just how much you do not know about how to speak, how to talk to people, how to engage with people. But at the same time, the beauty of Toastmasters is that it does teach you how to engage with people, how to be with people, how to capture their interest, how to tell a story. Toastmasters is without question one of the most worthwhile endeavors that one can do. It is invaluable in terms of all forms of communication with regards to personal, business, or private life. And I highly, highly encourage everybody to try a Toastmasters Club. You will be very, very grateful for the opportunity.
My name is Ryan Anderson, and I've been a Toastmaster for 15 years. What Toastmasters has done for me is just help boost my confidence and my public speaking abilities. Not only that, but to keep up with it over the years, because we're constantly growing and changing and evolving. And I love this club for having fun, the different people that we meet. I've had the opportunity to MC 3 different friends and family weddings. I've given toasts and speeches, and it's been a blessing in my life, and I think I will continue for a long time.
Hello, my name is Cyrus Perpetti, and I've been in the Winnipeg Toastmasters Club for about 2 years. Now, what's interesting is, if you asked me 2 years ago before I joined this club, me doing this, like actually volunteering to give my thoughts on Toastmasters, would have been like I never would have believed you. I would have been I would never do that unless I was forced at gunpoint. But what Toastmasters has done for me is not only made me become a better speaker, but has given me confidence. Has given me confidence to actually push myself to become a better person, push myself to become a better speaker. And I would say that is the best thing that Toastmasters has done for me. It has helped me remove my anxiety and strive to become a better person.
We are quite honored to have with us today the outgoing District 64 Director, Distinguished Toastmasters, Stephen Bryden. The core district leadership team consists of 3 officers, and typically a leader will work their way through all 3 roles over the course of 3 years. The first, or introductory role, is the Club Growth Director, whose main responsibility is to focus on the growth of the district while supporting any challenge clubs. The second role is the Program Quality Director, who focuses on the education program, contests, conferences, and training. The third role, typically obtained after fulfilling the previous 2, is the District Director, who is responsible for managing the day-to-day operations and ensuring the leadership team and the whole of the district is successful. Over the past 3 years, Stephen has worked his way through those 3 leadership roles. To share thoughts on his experience, please help me welcome immediate past District Director, Distinguished Toastmasters, Stephen Bryden.
Thank you so much, man. It's good to be here.
On behalf of District 64, let me thank you for your service, Stephen. Would you be able to tell us your journey through the district leadership?
Absolutely. This past year has been a wonderful year, and I often like to think of it as kind of a capstone year as part of the district leadership journey. As you mentioned in the introduction, the trio journey or run typically starts again with the Club Growth Director, and oftentimes the person is elected into campaigns and elected into the Program Quality Director role, and then of course lands at the District Director role. And this past year has really been about the fiscal accountability for the district, the overall operations of the district, the strategic planning in terms of the goals that we aspire to achieve through this past year. And of course, most importantly, helping support the leaders that I'm helping serve, which is the Program Quality Director, the Club Growth Director, and the whole District Executive Committee. And through that team, there's also additional extended leaders that reach out that are part of the clubs as well. So there's a really vast network of leaders that need support through this past year. And as District Director, you're kind of accountable at the top. The closest thing that I can relate it to is just think about another nonprofit organization, and you're either the Executive Director or the Chief Executive Officer for that organization. So in this case, the District Director role is kind of that role, or very similar to that role, for District 64 Toastmasters, and that's really helping serve all the clubs in Manitoba, Northwestern Ontario, and Northwestern Minnesota. That comprises of a little over 63 clubs, 900 some odd members, which is quite amazing when you think about it. So really, it has been a capstone year, and I've really enjoyed the journey so far.
Well, it's always interesting to talk about rewards and challenges, where you can develop your leadership role in a real interactive organization like Toastmasters. Could you tell us about your leadership experience? What is that biggest challenge that you faced?
Yeah, that's a very good question. In any leadership position, you're always going to face a multitude of challenges. And that's just something that you have to confront and just have the confidence in order to help face head on. One large challenge, and I think this is similar in any volunteer organization, and oftentimes in nonprofit organizations, is really bringing together and assembling teams. Because really you have to find those different team members to come together, and they have to intrinsically want to step up and serve. So you build skill sets to help connect what's important to them, what are they aspiring to achieve, what are their personal goals, and helping them align that to the organizational goals to get them inspired, encouraged, and interested to say, oh, wow, I have a tremendous opportunity to learn and grow in whatever area or aspect that they're looking to grow in. And of course, even better if they're doing that within the Toastmasters Leadership Development Program, which includes mentorships and support and real life activities to build and practice those very skills that they're aspiring to cultivate and build within themselves. So the more you can build that connection between their aspirations and the organizational aspirations and create that unity, enables you to inspire those leaders to step up and serve. So really, that's a huge challenge when you think about it, because you have to work extra hard in volunteer organizations to create that connection, because there's no pay. It's not like a paid job where someone has to go because it's their livelihood. It's they're doing it out of their own time. They have family life balance, they have their own work life balance, other hobby life balance. So making that connection is a challenge, and of course building that team is a challenge. So I'd say like building teams and inspiring teams to walk with you on this journey to help support the district, but most importantly the members that are part of the district.
Well, of course, to follow up that question, it's not always about challenges. So what is the rewarding thing that you have experienced that you can share with us?
The rewards are many. The rewards are many, especially within the Toastmasters program. One thing that I really came to love, especially in the district director role, is seeing the power of culture and the power of building community. And through that community of members, you're able to build and inspire a meaningful action through those members. So something as simple as setting up fundraisers and having that kind of off time for the members to come together, to break bread together, to have a little bit of fun together, but also to network and meet new people and new friends. So new friends means new connections means new roots. And that all plays a huge role in terms of building that positive culture within the organization. And it's really gratifying to have been able to experience that, but also to have that, this is another reward, to have that aha moment. So one of the cool things about the Toastmasters program and in the leadership development program, and even just a regular member program, you're just trying to build confidence, is through skills practice. You make mistakes, but you also make a tremendous amount of discoveries. And those aha moments start to come to light because you kind of work through a problem, you have some successes, you have some challenges, but you come away much wiser and going, oh wow, that's an interesting insight. What's cool about that is that sticks with you. It sticks with you because you've lived the experience, you've gone through that challenge, you've also solved that challenge. So now your retention of that is way higher than if you're sitting in a classroom with a lecture. So that learn by doing experience I find very rewarding, very gratifying. So those aha moments are huge. Building connections and networking with new friends is huge. It's so understated the value stepping up in these leadership roles and just working to learn by doing activities or method, or the experience-based learning approach that Toastmasters often calls it, is very powerful and unsung. The challenge is, or this is the biggest mistake is not engaging and not being actively involved and not working with your fellow members to take meaningful action. That's the only mistake. And the trick there is just having enough confidence to say that, oh, I'm going to give it a try. Oh my gosh, I'm in a peer-supported, a safe environment, even in my level right here. Rewarding experience. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to not be perfect. And you always have members, no matter at what level, members and mentors, no matter at what level, that will be there to support you. And I guess that's maybe the last reward that I'll comment on, is the mentorships and the peer supports. Like even at the district director level, working with past district directors, region advisors, international directors, there's a whole network that continues to support you no matter at what level. And that really goes to say, back to that culture comment that I made before, a positive culture, a safe environment, you have no choice but to grow and then achieve those different rewards.
I love those aha moments that you are kind of talking about there. And could you share with us like the personal and the professional benefits that you have gained throughout the years?
For me, the personal benefits I think that I've gained is my journey has been a story of confidence. And I don't think this is a unique journey for many members. I remember when I started, just having confidence to speak in small meeting rooms, like in my workplace, was a challenge for me to get my ideas across. But through time, again, through practice, a safe environment, constant skills development, I quickly surpassed that goal and then moved on again to more advanced speaking roles, speaking in larger venues, different venues, larger audiences. And the next thing you know, I'm nominating myself and campaigning for district leadership roles. And really that's just a testament of having the confidence to try and having the confidence to say, I'm not perfect. And having the confidence to say, hey, I'm going to make some mistakes, but I can problem solve and I can learn through those mistakes and do it even better next time, which is the whole point of the learn by doing process. And then having that trust that you're surrounded by peer support is huge. So in the workplace, how does that translate to the workplace? Well, having that confidence to say, oh, that's an interesting challenge. What can we do to try to solve it? Oh, you know what? Previously, maybe I used to be a little bit anxious to reach out to other leaders within the organization to do some problem solving. If it's just a curious question, it's okay to talk to people, of course, right? Especially when you're in leadership roles where building and negotiating relationships, building and negotiating next steps and you know, having and directing teams to take meaningful action, whether it's on a project or a small initiative or improving operations in some capacity. Having that confidence to step up and say, oh, okay, that's an interesting problem. I don't have all the answers, but boy, I know if we get the right people together, we can solve this challenge together. And I think that confidence has translated in my personal career, my personal life and career in my work. Because I have definitely noticed embracing challenges, but also embracing successes and bringing people and teams together, I find has been easier for me. But it's because of the practice. It's really because of the practice, of the constant practice and continual practice of being part of the Toastmasters program, but also the leadership development program. That is the district leadership roles I've just gone through.
Well, that is an interesting journey. I remember back in 5 years ago. Right now we are in 2025. But I remember in 2020 when you step up on that to campaign for the first district leadership role. If you could, what advice would you give to Stephen Bryden back in 2020 when you decided to step up for the first role?
I think one thing that I would tell my old self or my past self is consistent action through time wins the race. And no matter where you are in your developmental journey, it really is that consistent action through time. So it's just taking that step, having that beat in your mind, and just taking those incremental gains and focusing on what are you doing in the moment? What is the role that you're focusing on today? What learning outcomes and aha moments can you achieve or gain from that specific experience where you're at? Why do I say this? It's interesting. When I stepped up to actually, I think this was my public relations management role for District 64 Toastmasters. I remember being appointed by that, and that was an appointed role. I remember feeling nervous and going, oh my gosh, can I do this? Do I have the capacity to do this? And you know, at that time, I wasn't thinking about club growth director, program quality director, district director. It's just, oh, can I do this? Like, this is a heightened role, more accountabilities, there's more responsibilities. You have to build a team, right, to do all the promotions, inward and outward communications for the organization. But at that time, it was confidence. It was confidence. And I was like, oh, I don't even want to think about anything else after that. But then at the end, it's interesting. The journey took me from that point of confidence to, oh man, maybe I can actually be a club growth director. Maybe I'll actually campaign for that role. And I remember when I was successful in that campaign, I got elected as club growth director. And I remember feeling like, oh my gosh, this club growth, what have I done? I'm going to learn by fire hose. Can I do this? But halfway through the year, the question turned into, oh my gosh, I'm kind of doing it, get my feet under me. Oh, I think I might actually be able to do the program quality director role. Like I started to feel ready, but at that point when I got elected, it's like, well, I don't know if I can do the program quality director role, let alone the club growth director role. But the next thing you know, oh, I'm elected for the program quality director role. And then I'm looking ahead at that year, like, oh my gosh, what have I done? But then you do it and you work through it. And then at that point, it was like, oh, I don't know if I can do the district director role, but that role got me ready. And by the time I was approaching the district director campaign and that whole journey, I was like, oh, I was ready for it. So really, at the beginning of the journey, it's hard to anticipate that, but it was a slow, steady, a beat, taking those slow, steady beats and taking that meaningful action through time that evolved me and helped me get ready for that next role. It just naturally progressed to that next role. So really, I think the slow and steady wins the race. Taking meaningful action, consistent meaningful action through time will enable you to achieve your goals. And I'm not anyone special. I remember I already mentioned where I kind of came from in terms of my confidence level. Like I truly believe this is totally achievable for any member who aspires it. And just remember that consistent meaningful action through time will get you to the place that you want to go.
Okay, so we talk about rewards, challenges, trial and errors, celebrating successes. Now, would you recommend the district leadership role to others?
Oh yeah, I totally would. In the beginning, of course, I was nervous as club growth director, but looking back now, the leadership program in Toastmasters, and especially the district leadership program, is completely unsung. I think I was completing my club growth director year, and I remember thinking, wow, why are more people stepping up for this role? It's all built into your membership dues. All you have to do is step up and say, ooh, I'm interested to serve, and just to try to campaign and go for it. Because the program and the journey and the experience is, I thought I knew what I knew when I stepped up for that first club growth director role, but no, I didn't know the full experience on what I was about, like the journey that I was about to embark. You get flown out for district leadership training. You do global networking with fellow peers, district leadership peers, like across the world. There's over 120 districts, like around the world, that you get to connect with twice per year. So since my club growth director year, I've been connecting with the same peer group. It's kind of like the class of, every year I started as a club growth director, but I followed those same club growth directors. Most of them moved on to program quality director and then the district director role. So it's just like going to school, but it's an interactive school, and you're connecting with your peers, and you're getting training, you're getting mentorship through very experienced people, global leaders that are part of the Toastmasters International program. And at the same time, you get to practice strategic planning, building those plans, then executing on those plans, learning through the delivery of those plans, and coming away with an amazing 12-month learning cycle at each year through that district set of district leadership roles. It's a tremendous program, and there's tremendous opportunities to grow and develop personally, professionally, but also to meet new friends, meet peers from around the world, and have a lot of fun. That's the last piece. You're having fun while doing it. So the service feels like it may look from the outside, oh my gosh, you're doing all this work. But when you think about it, when you're doing something and you're having fun, all of a sudden that work, well, it's not really work anymore. It's kind of a passion and a fun pastime, and then you're having a good time with friends. So the service that you're putting in, you get tenfold out.
Okay, so you have done club growth director, program quality directors, district director, the trio, kind of district trio leadership role there. So what's next for you?
That's a good question. And this is another cool thing about the Toastmasters program. It truly is scalable. The program, the learning and development program is scalable. So just as I've traversed the club growth director role, program quality director role, and the district director role, there are still more roles, if I choose to aspire to try to achieve. Now, I haven't made a decision on what I'd like to do, but to give an example of future potential roles is I could potentially become a region advisor. You can also take on a more strategic role, which is an international director role. And every year there's elections for half of the for the board of directors, really, for Toastmasters International, the global organization. So you could become an international director. You can also campaign for, once you get enough experience, you can campaign for some of the international officer roles. That's second vice president, first vice president, and then the actual president of Toastmasters International. And that's similar, but just a global perspective of the trio role, or the leadership roles that I've just gone through with the district, with the club growth director, program quality director, district director. Well, they definitely have a different focus, it's much more strategic focus, because they're looking at the global organization, but there's second vice president, first vice president, and then international president. So right there I've named, I think that's five different roles. That's another set of 5 years or more of journey that's open. And the real cool thing about all those roles, every member in the organization, if they should aspire to achieve those roles, they have a chance and it's accessible to go for it. Because the international president, what are they? They're just a Toastmasters member like everyone else. They've gone through the journey. They've gone through several of these different roles to get where where they are today. So I have a lot of thinking to do. So the first thing for next is I'm going to take a little bit of rest. Because I have to fulfill my immediate past district director role. And that role is kind of like a mentor and coaching role to help support the club growth director, program quality director, and district director who have just been elected and installed. So I'll be there to support them through this next Toastmasters cycle. So that's a learning journey onto its own. And then once that year is done, then I'll really have to think about, okay, well, do I aspire to become a region advisor, or maybe contemplate campaigning for a larger role within the organization? It's cool. It's cool. There's so many journeys within the Toastmasters program. So that's something that I'll have to think about.
Wow, that's so interesting. Well, once again, on behalf of District 64, thank you so much for your leadership for the past 5 years and counting.
Yes.
So, and thank you for sharing with us your journey, your wisdom, and inspiration. Thank you for joining us for this episode of District 64 TV. Be sure to tune in for future episodes. If you want to learn more about the Toastmaster program and how you can get engaged at a club near you, go to www.toastmaster.org and click on the Find a Club button. You will be able to type in your locations, find a club near you. Don't wait. Make sure you find a club. Enjoy today.